Harford County's Board of Education is taking action after a Fox 45 News report exposed a man facing 15 federal charges was hired to be a teacher.
That's right. As Project Baltimore's Chris Papps explains, a new policy has been drafted by the school board's president to provide more safeguards over who's hired to work inside classrooms.
This policy is very common sense.
Aaron Poynton is the president of the Harford County Board of Education.
And I think that most parents and taxpayers would support it.
Poynton, over the last few weeks, has been drafting a new board policy regarding the hiring of school system employees, a policy he says is long overdue.
I'm actually surprised that it's taken this long for this to be, an issue to where we need to create a policy or we need to look at changing the laws.
This policy applies to any district position that would require criminal background checks, such as teachers, conditional educators, substitutes, and many more. The policy states a majority vote of the Board of Education would be required to hire an applicant with one or more pending misdemeanor or felony charges for serious offenses, which include crimes of moral turpitude, such as fraud, theft, corruption, or other dishonest conduct that undermines trust, judgment, or professional integrity. Poynton says he plans to formally introduce this policy to the full board in January.
I have 3 kids in the public school system here in Harford County. I not only want the best and the brightest educators, but I also want someone who's going to be a good moral character. Because these are positions of public trust.
Poynton wrote the new policy following Project Baltimore's reporting on Lawrence Smith.
You want to say something to your players, Coach?
In September 2023, Smith, a former Baltimore City Schools police officer and state champion football coach, was arrested and charged with 15 federal counts, many related to overtime fraud. Fox 45 broke the news that HCPS hired Smith.
I'm excited to be your child's 8th grade English language arts teacher here at Edgewood Middle School.
To teach 8th grade English in August as he awaited trial.
Mr. Smith, you pleaded to wire fraud and income tax evasion. Do you have any statements that you want to make to the community?
In October, Smith pled guilty to felony wire fraud and income tax evasion. He admitted to stealing $215,000 in overtime from Baltimore City schools. After he pled guilty, Harford County Schools placed Smith on administrative leave, where taxpayers continued to pay him his nearly $58,000 salary for about a month. Smith now faces a maximum of 25 years in prison. His sentencing date has not yet been set.
It did not raise a red flag that prohibited him from being hired.
Poynton last month told Project Baltimore under current state law, Smith's specific charges did not disqualify HCPS from hiring him. And under state law, despite the charges, Smith was still able to obtain a conditional teaching certificate, which allowed him to teach English at Edgewood Middle School. Poynton says he wrote this new policy to go beyond state law to further protect students. And he says he's willing to work with lawmakers in Annapolis this upcoming legislative session to make the contents of this policy state law.
The laws at the state level need to be strengthened. And if our legislature is not going to do it, we're at least going to protect Harford County.
When Project Baltimore broke the news of Smith's hiring, Harford County Executive Bob Cassilly, along with Harford County State Delegate Lauren Arcan, both called for an investigation, which Poynton says is happening. He says the results of that investigation should be made public in early 2026. I'm Chris Papps, and this is Project Baltimore.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.